Chat GPT, buying an HVAC system, part 2. Next one is going to be, what's the difference between a heat pump, a furnace, and an air conditioner? Well, okay, first let's look at, there are different types of systems that are optimal for different climates. Now here in Northwest Indiana, our climate actually allows us to use multiple types of systems. Now, 20 years ago, you didn't want to use a heat pump here. They were terribly inefficient. They had real serious capacity issues. All that means they couldn't make enough heat for it to make sense. Today, that's been long since solved. I've had a heat pump in my own home for 12 years. It's provided 90% of my heat for the last 12 years. I certainly prefer it over a straight gas furnace, and the utility savings are incredible. Last January, when people started getting $400, $500, $600 heating bills for ordinary Northwest Indiana homes. We're not talking about giant homes here. We're talking about average homes that have bills this large. And I'm, $190 for a very similar average home. People started reaching out to me about heat pumps. Now, heat pumps look just like an air conditioner. The only difference is they can reverse the flow of refrigerant. And instead of concentrating the heat and refrigerant from the inside and disposing of it outside, they absorb heat in the outside unit, concentrate it in refrigerant, and release it into the house. There's always heat in the air, even if it's 50 below. What keeps it from being 100 below? Heat. There's always heat in the air. Now I have to calculate at what point is there not enough heat to heat your home. And then we use what's called the dual fuel system, where it will actually switch over to a gas furnace at that point. The other nice thing about dual fuel or heat pumps, dual fuel, is the ability to fuel switch. If one year electric is extremely high or one year gas is extremely high, you can prioritize one or the other most of the time. Today's systems are incredibly efficient. They have basically resolved all of those capacity issues down to about 5 degrees. So heat pumps make an awful lot of sense. And until the end of 2025, we have tax credits and other incentives that make it very attractive. When you're looking at, let's say your average system from us is going to be about 13 grand. You take somebody, a big company like Summers, they're going to be 17, 18, $20,000 for the same system. We can actually install for around that $20,000 mark a system that's leaps and bounds better than your average 95% efficient, 96% efficient furnace and mid-tier AC. It's just going to outperform it in every single way and save you so much money over the next 15, 18 years of your life. It just doesn't even make sense to consider anything else.